Well, hello there, Retro PC Durham. Chris here with another video. We've got a tower machine here today to take a look at. Actually a pretty nice case. This originally would have come from this company here, Canada Computers. They're a Canadian electronics retailer, clone computer company, whatever you want to call them. It's a nice case. Good quality, not too heavy. Come around the back here, we'll take a look. It's not a wide case, so it doesn't have room for like a full 120 millimeter fan at the back of the case. So that's a bit of a hindrance, I guess, in terms of modern quality. But we'll take a look. We've got our power supply, and on the back of our motherboard here, we've got a combo keyboard mouse port, bunch of USB ports in here. We've got onboard graphics. You can see lots of different graphics choices, and then our audio connectivity as well. I'm going to unscrew here and we're going to take a view inside the machine now. Okay, here's our top-down view of our machine. We've got this no-name brand CCIVO ATX power supply with 350 watts. On the system board here, we've got a Gigabyte GA-F2A55M-HD2. And this is an AMD-based motherboard. It's an FM2 socket. And we've got, obviously, an AMD processor in here, and I don't remember which one we got here. It's an A6 or maybe an A8 processor. So it's an APU that's got integrated graphics. They're not great, but from a desktop use perspective, this does, a fine job. Memory installation there. There is room here for PCI expansion, so if you did need to add discrete graphics, you could on this machine. We've got a 2.5-inch hard drive here I've got mounted into the side of the system. There's actually screw holes here to be able to put it on here. And then there's the optical drive here as well. I tried to do a little bit of case cleanup here in terms of moving around cables as best as I can. These older cases, there isn't very much room to be able to do cable management, but at least it's nice and clear. So being able to get some airflow coming from the front of the unit through the machine, getting sucked through by this singular case fan and by the power supply fan, should help to keep the air going through it enough that it can actually try to keep it a little bit cool. All right, let's get this all set up with the rest of the accessories. So we have a bit of a mishmash of technology here with our clone computer from Canada Computers, a ThinkVision monitor from IBM. This is a 17-inch 4x5 or 3x4 aspect ratio monitor, a Dell USB keyboard, and an AST branded or marked USB mouse. It all works together fine. It's all right. So let's hit the power button and watch our boot up. Fair bit of aggressive fan noise going on in this system. I think I may need to have that fan taken a look at before this thing goes out for donation, because it certainly didn't sound like that when I was putting the machine together. Fan may need to be replaced, or at the very least cleaned again and oiled. But as you can see, we're booting up into Windows, clean and clear. So what we'll do now is get ourselves repositioned a little bit closer to the screen, and we'll take a look at the rest of our hardware specs. So here we are with hardware info running to take a look at our specs. An AMD A8 APU, and that's the 5600K, which is part of the Piledriver Trinity product line, the infamous Piledriver processors. It says that it's a quad-core processor, but that isn't entirely true. It is two packages with two cores, but the way that they're built, it doesn't really work out that way. It really is more like a dual core hyper-threaded, even though it's not really hyper-threaded processor. Yeah, but it's got all the instruction sets that you need. It's running at 3.6 gigahertz, so it's a pretty decent processor for desktop use. Definitely a little bit, lacking in terms of being able to do something like modern gaming. You probably get like Roblox or Minecraft running on this if you really wanted to. Storage wise, we got a 320 gig SATA hard drive, that 2.5 inch dolly that I put in there, and we got that DVD-R drive as well. Graphics, since this is an APU, are integrated into the processor. So we've got a Radeon HD 7560D, also known as the Trinity Devastator Light Desktop Processor GPU. Okay, 768 megabytes dedicated, DDR3 RAM attached to that. We have a total of 4 gig of RAM installed in here. That's two gig micron sticks, and that's all ready to go. Let's see how this thing handles something as simple as a crab rave. All right, so this ThinkVision screen is a 1280 by 1024 screen, which means you're looking at a 720p standard resolution rate for this kind of widescreen video, but we're going to check out the 1080p first to see if it handles it fine. I actually think that it should be able to handle this. The APU should be powerful enough to be able to make this work. So we'll hit the play button and we'll see how things are going. So far so good. Opening sequence here of the crab rave video, the birds flying over the island. I don't see any issues with them moving. They're working fine. The waves are going fine. There's no stuttering or hitching. As far as frame drops, we're only 3 out of 600 now. We're still at 3, and those might have just been early frame drops right at the beginning of the video as things were ramping up. Yeah, I think that this is pretty good. So 1080p video is not an issue at all, which means, you know, at some point in time, if someone was going to be holding on for this for a while and wanted to get a larger screen, I mean, this screen is, I think, perfectly fine in terms of resolution and size for, you know, a single person sitting at a desk. I'm used to using a 13-inch laptop for the last, 6 or 7 months now, and I had a larger laptop before that with a larger screen, but it was still not much bigger than this that we've got here. Yeah, I think this is overall a pretty good scene. So that's our look at this AMD based APU clone machine that's going to be going out for donation. I think it turned out really well. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. As always, I hope you are staying safe and healthy, and we will catch you in the next one.